This Might Be Risky sponsorship package is here. Have your ad run on our live streaming episodes, linked in the video description and attached to our many hot take clips. The channel is fast growing with thousands of views and subscribers. Don't miss your chance to grow your business on one of the fastest growing platforms on YouTube. Join the family today. This might be risky. Email us at thismightberisky@gmail.com if interested. Hashtag Indeed, hashtag do the right thing.
And that you're not suffering in silence. Because she also knows that y'all aren't having sex. But I would ask you, Hamp, for example purposes, then like if you lost your job today, how long would you go before telling your significant other? Like, would you just wait till you got a new gig, or would you be like, hey, just so you know, we about to strap up because shit ain't working out down at the factory, you know, or whatever. Like, I think that would be more of a accurate hypothetical for this question.
Yeah, and that's why I make sure I qualified it where it could have been a bad example, right? Yeah, so for me, if I was answering specifically, I would tell her, you know. But you guys know me, so you know I hustle too. So
I think
I'm not gonna be super duper worried, right? If I'm just using myself, and I hate when people do that, you know what I'm saying? But I would say it because I'm getting money in other, you know. So I would make it work. But when P first brought that example up, in terms of when it's real hard, I'm gonna keep that. And that shit is stressful. You can't sleep when the money ain't right. But I'm gonna keep that, and I'm gonna suffer or push through that, without her having to deal with it with me.
Yeah, so I think even in this conversation, we're all still hella surface level with it. Because when we said suffer, the first thing all of us went to was financially. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what we deem as suffering. Fam, my younger brother was murdered. You know what I'm saying? That shit wasn't easy. I tried to, you know, suffer in silence. What happens? 2.5 year depression. At the time, I'm like, my brother was murdered. I'm supposed to feel sad. I'm supposed to feel sorry. And when you come up on top of it, like, nigga, you was depressed for 2.5 years. You know what I'm saying? So suffering, there's levels to that shit. You dig what I'm saying? So we can't just, as men, I think we're wired to only look at it in certain ways. So I think to your point, Russ, to answer the question, like in regards to the work thing, like P said, you come home and you tell your lady what it is, but you go out and get it. You find a way. Like, okay, babe, I got fired today, but don't worry, we gonna be all right. I'm gonna figure this out.
Chief, yeah, that was good, but like you said, fuck all that, right? Because you mentioned it, right?
Okay.
When your brother passed, God bless the dead, right? We all was around each other, and we was all still playing football, and we had moments here and there, but we would still do what we always did. And then did any of us even come and say, "P, you straight"?
I remember the champion, no bullshit, real quick. The championship game in Hungerford Park, you got the MVP that game. And I remember hugging you, and after I hugged you, nigga, I broke down in tears. Yeah. This was like a couple months after that. Broke down in tears at the game, crying. Yeah. But I don't even think, and the crazy thing is, not many cats picked up on it, or like you said, offered it. Yo, you good? Like I'm just, you know, I'm thinking my brother was murdered. I'm supposed to feel this way. You dig what I'm saying? Like he was a part of the team, blah 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 blah. But I didn't talk to. How many times we sit down and talk about my brother?
Nah, never probably.
You see what I'm saying?
You know,
and but I'm glad he brought up that point, because that's the real suffering in silence. The part when you feeling like you're not enough and you don't need to be here, and people will be better off without you, and you'll never figure it out. You know what I'm saying? Those dark moments when it's literally just you and you don't show that to nobody. That's the stuff you don't need to deal with by yourself.
But at that time, we don't know. Like you said, we don't know at that time like in the middle of that situation, fam. I literally thought this is what I'm supposed to feel. Like when you lose a significant other, it was my very first funeral to have to identify a body, pick the casket, make the arrangements, and bury my younger brother. Like I've never been there before. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, this is how I'm supposed to feel. Now everybody in the family leaning on me. Who the fuck I'm leaning on?
Facts, but because you went through it now you got the podcast. So now you telling everybody else. Right. And what I'm saying is the majority, that's why I'm saying like, okay, we heard enough of, we don't know what to do, but now we know it. You know what I'm saying? The things that we need is available to us, even as we get older. Like I know you said, hey, if you cried when we got off, most of the people would have gonna get off and laugh at you. Maybe 10, 15 years ago we would have, But every man up here probably done been through so much after they gonna be like, damn, like boy must have really been hurt to break down in front of everybody to the point to where that's gonna affect most of us. I know it's gonna affect me. That affects me more than things that I go through on my own is when I see other men get to that breakdown point because I've been there. So now that we older and we can relate more to it, we need to make sure we're pushing other people to go do the things that we know, especially when we've been through something and it helped us.
So according to Hamp in the beginning, if I break down and y'all catch me crying, I'm less masculine. I'm not as much of a man. I'm not as much of a man anymore.
Most of the time, yo. Toxic most of the time.
Yeah,
no strategy.
Hamp going Hamp. That's in that song. That's what you gotta know about that. Everybody know that.
Yeah, Hamp be right with a lot of things he say, but he got no strategy. He just gonna be blunt and just say it, boom, right? He don't care how it's received, but he has gotten way better. So let me give you flowers to him. So most of the time he gonna be
like that. Shit like that.
Well, it's the truth, so it don't matter. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, so but just to clarify that point, I'm talking about like physical pain. Like if you cry from emotional, right? Like with my kid, that shit was the illest. With my wife, that shit was ill, you know? Like when people are intubated, it's just a tube to breathe, but that shit impacts you when you see it, you know?
But I think at a certain point in manhood, once you move out of childhood, I think most men ain't crying the physical pain no more. You know what I'm saying?
Look at Corey, Chief. That nigga.
Physical pain. I think
he wins.
Yeah, but I think even more than it becomes like an anger thing at that point. Like we find it like it's not the physical pain. We turn it into anger, and that's what has us crying. We just pissed off that, you know what I mean, we hurting this way. It ain't the pain.
Let me show you. You right. Let me show y'all this. I predicated a lot of stuff off this for a long time. And Terrence might know what this is. Maybe Adrian, I don't know. Or Corn. Can you guys see this?
Oh yeah. Oh, William Ernest Henley. Whatever his name is.
Sure.
This poem is called Invictus. William Ernest Henley was I forget what his actual job was off the top of my head, but he was on his deathbed, and this is a poem that he wrote, knowing he was about to die. But this is what this was his premise. So can you guys see it well? Shall I read it?
I can see it.
Right. So I don't know. I predicated a lot of stuff off this. I think there's something to this. I think this is substantive, and I don't want to throw away all of this because we need to be more in touch. I think men gotta stay somewhat close to this in some aspects. You know? Interesting, man. Damn, this shit is ill, man. Like, I'm just thinking, because so we all could play ball pretty well, right? We had a couple guys who played in different leagues and things of that nature. But Mike, his name is Mike, but we all call him Chief because that reverence and respect. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just thinking back to that. And I think I should say sorry to Chief because I can speak for everybody else, but I never even broached that topic. We just know that we love each other and we know we could get what you want from one another. Mm-hmm. Like we both 49ers fans, all types of corny shit. But we never, like, you know what I mean? We don't even get to that point. And that's a goddamn shame. So, Chief, I apologize.
Salute, man. No tripping at all. Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you.
Damn, man. Damn, Ken, what you? Nah, I don't want to start Ken up. That nigga, boy.
Don't do me like that. Don't do me like that. I have something to say though. I have something to say.
Hold on, Ken. Before you go, real quick. So you said that dude's name was Henry. What's his name? Henry Hurst.
William Ernest Henley.
William Hurst. That's a gentleman of a different persuasion.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you look up to somebody like that? Never knew that. Cool. Go ahead, Ken.
God damn.
See what you gotta. Damn. What you gotta understand about the Caucasus Mountains is We just thank the Most High for some of the shit that they.
Yeah, okay. Listen, I just wanted clarification. That's all. I apologize, Mr. Ken. Go ahead, Mr. Ken Fitzgerald.
But good is good. Friend, and we out.